Guys and girls, my name is James ThnxCya. Welcome back today to Roblox. How are we doing, everyone? Welcome back, welcome back. Today, of course, it is time for some brand new Bee Swarm Simulator. And in this video, I thought we'd do something a little bit different because hopefully there's going to be some information in here which some people might find useful. So, we've been playing the update now for about a week or so. I've got to say, absolutely loving it. Onnit has once again done an incredible job here with this brand new 35 bee zone. And of course, I'm sure you would have seen that there is a brand new bee called the Windy Bee. And as well as that, there are also wild Windy Bee attacks. And we also have this brand new wind shrine. So all of these things kind of all work together. And it's actually fairly complex. We talk about all of the various aspects of those things. We're going to learn how you actually get the Windy Bee egg for free, how you actually find the wild Windy Bees in the fields, and what the wind shrine actually does. Sound good? I feel like we should begin up here with the wind shrine. So there's plenty of different bits and pieces that you can actually do using the wind shrine, and I kind of wanted to just do the very, very basics of how this bad boy works. So of course this is up in the 35 bee zone, so this is more of an end game or later game style area. And it is really, really cool because as well as actually using this shrine to get yourself a Windy Bee for your hive, this is also used for getting random items, for really cool boosts, and you can also basically summon bits and pieces and wild Windy Bees from it. So yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do with this wind shrine, and I feel like if you click on it to begin with, it can be kind of like intimidating because you can literally donate every single item in your inventory, and you also have numbers. So yeah, basically what happens when you donate something. So there is like a big element of trial and error when you are donating things to the wind shrine. Now it does reset every hour, so the best thing that you can do is literally just try out a bunch of different items, maybe some common ones, maybe lots of common ones, maybe some of the rarer ones, and just see what they give you in return. So a little bit later on in the video, I've actually got some screenshots of various items that people have donated to the wind shrine, and some of these results are really, really cool, and other ones are not quite what you would expect. So we'll take a look at those just in, well, a little bit later on in the video. However, one thing that you kind of need to pay attention to, and it's quite interesting, is when you donate an item, there are different responses which will trigger different rewards. Okay, so for argument's sake, we don't need to necessarily say which items give certain things, because I feel like it is fairly random. However, if you have a look at these responses, these are basically a big clue as to what you are going to receive from your item. So it's really, really tempting just to skip through it, but actually if you read the first line, you are always going to be able to tell what you get. So for example here, this is when you donate something, the wind shrine will give you various items. So the first line will always say, a cool breeze emanates from the shrine. And this basically means that when you donate something, you will get a bunch of various items as a reward. The second response you might get is this one. It says here, the items, so the items are the things that you've donated, are blown away in a sudden whirlwind. So yeah, when you see this response from the wind shrine, what this is going to then do is it's going to spawn the boosts for a certain field and also give you the wind boost for that particular field. And as well as that, if you actually go to that field, you will find clouds hovering over that field. So basically, it's kind of giving you like a really nice field to do some farming in. And here is the third response that it might give you. The first line will say, a sudden breeze sweeps the item into the sky. So this is the response that you will see if a wild Windy Bee is going to spawn in one of your fields. Yeah, so what we're going to try and do is we're actually going to go and find a wild Windy Bee, because there are a couple of ways that you can actually tell if one is in your server. And yeah, we're going to come back to the wind shrine because I'm going to talk about the actual Windy Bee itself, the one that you can equip into your hive. But yeah, we're going to also make a donation, and we're going to do an example of that in just a sec. However, the best way, if you are playing on public servers, to know if a Windy Bee is in your server, quite simply, is to look at the wind shrine. So it doesn't even particularly matter if you can't get into the 35 bee zone. What I would highly recommend is if you're doing some farming and stuff, when you come and empty your hives, just take a little look up at the top of the wind shrine. And in the wind shrine itself, it has like these three kind of like banner type things. Now, if there is a wild Windy Bee somewhere in your server, those will be moving. So we'll hopefully see that a little bit later on, but these things will be flapping around all over the place, and it is the sign that there is a wild windy bee somewhere in your server just chilling. So you've got to go and find him. The question is, how do you find him? I'm going to try and get that response. Now, I'm not 100% sure what kind of item I should give, because I kind of feel like I don't think certain items always give the same kind of rewards. The only thing that I remember is when I was doing the quest lines, I gave some red extract. I think I gave 5 red extract, and it spawned in a windy bee. So I'm actually going to go a bit mad here. I'm going to give 20 red extract to the wind shrine. Let's see what it says. Hey! Okay, a sudden breeze sweeps the red extracts into the sky. Windy bee's buzz is heard in the distance. Okay, a melodic chimes grow louder and louder. Wild windy bee is in one of the fields. So, for some reason, 2 out of 2 times now, when I've donated red extract, a wild windy bee has spawned, and this is exactly what I was saying. As soon as there is a wild windy bee in your server, these chimes will be going mad. And the cool thing is, as I mentioned, you don't actually have to be up there to see it. If you're in a public server, someone else might be doing it. You can literally see them moving. Do you see them up over there? As soon as you see that, get hunting. You might be thinking, how on earth do I actually find the wild windy bee? Well, it's actually kind of cool, and it's super duper simple. All you need to do is, if you see those chimes moving, go and check all of the fields to try and find a cloud. Now here's the thing, not every single cloud is going to be the right cloud. So especially if you're in a public server, maybe someone has a windy bee, maybe that windy bee is spawning in clouds anyway, or maybe, you know, some people are dropping Cloud Vials, but eventually when you find the right cloud, and I'm going to try my best to zoom this in, you can literally see the windy bee inside the cloud. So let me get rid of this werewolf. There we go. I'm going to zoom this in. Can you see the windy bee inside? Look at that. So that's the giveaway. Basically, this cloud does contain the windy bee, and all you need to do, there it is, look. Literally just jump into the cloud. Boom! So as soon as you jump into that cloud, that windy bee battle has now been triggered, and you can fight it for 5 minutes. So how the windy bee itself works, the wild one, basically every time you defeat it in a field, it will go into the middle, it will drop a bunch of items, it will then level up to the next level, and it will fly to a different location. So it's quite straightforward. All you need to do is follow it around to every single field, take it down as best as you can. Every single time it will level up, and you can get as many items as possible within those 5 minutes. A couple of things to note about the windy bee itself. One problem with it is that, yes, it does go up to the coconut field, and I think it also might go to the pepper field as well. So this is going to be a slight issue if you can't actually get to those fields. So hopefully you've got someone in your server that can't get up here just yet, then unfortunately it's going to fly away. But yeah, hopefully you can. And another thing to note as well is that every time it levels up, its health goes up a bit, but it also starts to do more damage. So especially at like levels 10 and 11 and 12, the damage is noticeably bigger from the tornadoes that it summons. So you've got to be a little bit careful. You've got to play it a little bit smart, because you can actually die to it if it gets to a higher level. Another thing to note as well is when it actually pops into the middle of the field, I'm pretty certain this is true, the items that you see can be collected by everyone, but I feel like everyone might have different items to pick up. So it's kind of not like, what's a good example? I guess, you know, you don't, maybe like the, you know, the sparkles that come, like everyone kind of has to share those items. However, I think with the windy bee, you get a unique amount of drops for each player on the server, so you don't have to fight over who gets what. Now, of course, windy bee is a really, really nice way to get Cloud Vials, and we're going to come to the Cloud Vials in just a second, because they are essential if you want to get a windy bee of your own. So this bad boy can drop just so many random different items. So for example, it can do field dice, it can do glitter, royal jelly, sunflower seeds, it drops some honey, drops Cloud Vials. I think it can even drop some fairly advanced items as well, but it kind of just depends how high a level you can get it. So for example, things like tropical drinks might drop depending on how high you can get it. I'm not using any stingers or anything with this because I actually kind of want to show you its main attacks. So I'm sure you've noticed it does tornadoes. And these tornadoes, they do a lot of damage. However, did you see those red lines? Now, these red lines don't actually damage you. However, if you get in the way of them, They launch you out of the field, and they actually launch you really far away. So if you accidentally get stuck in those red lines, you will lose seconds whilst you are fighting the Windy Bee, and you'll have to go back to it. So the good news is it doesn't actually damage you, but you do have to be pretty quick to dodge them, because the red lines come down, and then pretty much within like the next second, that attack is being fired. So yeah, make sure you dodge the red lines. Okay, you will also notice here, we've only got 30 seconds left of this Windy Bee attack, but the actual Wind Shrine is still flapping about whilst this Windy Bee is alive in the server. So I kind of wanted to show you roughly what happens, and I also kind of want to walk into some of these things. Oh, look at this. Boom! So if you're lucky, you might get hit against a wall. If you're unlucky, you'll get like teleported to the other, like smashed to the other side of the map. So you got to be a little bit careful. See? And you kind of fall over for a bit and then you get back up. But yeah, this one is going to be over now in a few seconds. So I didn't use any stingers or anything. I was kind of just messing about. But yeah, level 12, 13, 14, pretty good. And yeah, it's a good source of Cloud Vials. Although the thing is, you can only stack Cloud Vials up to 10. So, you know, you can use them. But you will need them. Very important if you want to get one yourself. But yeah, every single time the Windy Bee is finished, it goes back over towards the Wind Shrine. And if we can beat it there, it kind of disappears through this wall. So, oh, you might have just missed it. Yeah, it goes through this wall above the pepper patch. And when the Windy Bee has left the server itself, I think you get a prompt here. Yeah, Windy Bee is fleeing. And within a few seconds, these things will stop moving. Eventually, do you see them cooling down? And they're basically back to where they are. So yeah, every single time you see these bad boys moving, there is a wild Windy Bee battle somewhere waiting to be found. Jump into the cloud with the Windy Bee. Have some fun. It's good. Free items. So, now that we've covered wild Windy Bees, and it does seem that apparently you can see more than one Windy Bee in a server at once, which is kind of fun. So, I guess like the best way to encounter them is to just play on public servers. I mean, I'm playing on a private server by myself right now, just for the sake of this video, but I feel like with more players in the server, there's many more chances to have those wild sightings, many more battles, which means more Cloud Vials, and Cloud Vials are going to be essential if you want to get a Windy Bee for yourself. Okay, so let's begin with this bit now, and this, I guess, is probably the most interesting bit in terms of if you want to get that Windy Bee yourself. And you've got to remember, the Windy Bee is pretty much like an end game bee. So, there's two ways you can do it. You can do the way that I did it, in which case you can buy it from the Roblox store in first edition, because you wanted to show it off. Oh, on it. Not stickbug music. Why? Dude! Ah, unbelievable. Don't get me wrong, I love my stickbug, but it's one of the trolliest musics in the game. Unbelievable. Oh, why is he always trolling me? Why is this? On the low key. It's unbelievable. Anyway, as I was saying, the Windy Bee is pretty much like the endgame one. So I bought mine through the Robux store for the first edition one, just because we've got all of the first edition event bees so far. However, if you're not able to actually purchase that, there is a way that you can get it for free, but there's a few extra steps that you need to take. So, all of the action is up here in the 35B zone. Now, the Spirit Bear NPC is essential if you want to get yourself the Windy Bee, because she has 30 quests in total, and every 10th quest, you get given a Spirit Petal, which you need to donate to the Wind Shrine in order to unlock the ability to get the bee. So, yeah, 3 in total. Now, it just so happens that I'm currently on quest number 10. So yeah, I literally just have to donate some blue extract, but that's going to be for a different video because we're going to get the petal wand. But yeah, basically, this is the 10th quest, and as soon as you complete that one, you'll be given one of the petals, and you have a choice then whether to donate it to the Wind Shrine or use it for one of these 2 new items. So you can either donate it up there, or you can use it over here for the petal wand, or you can use it over here for the petal belt. Now, if you aren't able to actually get yourself the Windy Bee for Robux, I would highly recommend that as soon as you get that Spirit Petal, you donate it to the Wind Shrine, because then that unlocks your ability to use Cloud Vials in order to give yourself a chance at winning the... You'll need to wait for quest number 20 in order to get another one. If you get both of those items, you'll have to wait for quest number 30. Now, I would not advise this because these quests scale up every single time, and they get harder and harder and harder harder. So these quests are like fairly tricky right now, but I have no idea what they're going to be like at like level 25 or something. I'm looking forward to it, but I feel like they're going to be super duper meaty. So yeah, I would recommend donating your spirit petal to the Wind Shrine once you do 10 levels here with the Spirit Bear. And once you have done that, it will actually then change the dialogue when you are donating Cloud Vials. So annoyingly, because we did a donation earlier, I can't actually access the Wind Shrine now for another 45 minutes. But I don't actually have like a way of really showing you it because I haven't donated the Spirit Petal yet. I guess what I would do is I want to get the items first, so I'd probably donate my 3rd Spirit Petal. Don't really know what it's going to do just yet because I already have the Windy Bee. However, once you have donated that Spirit Petal, once you then start donating Cloud Vials after, you then give yourself the opportunity to get the Windy Bee egg. So when you donate Cloud Vials, it's really up to you how many Cloud Vials each time you want to donate to the shrine. So there is a maximum of 10, but I would just recommend playing around with it because you can reset this every hour and you can just give 2 Cloud Vials, 3 Cloud Vials. You can do 10 in one go if you want. But I believe that there is a statistic whether the more stuff you donate to the Wind Shrine and the more Cloud Vials you donate, the better you give yourself the chance to get the Windy Bee. Now, when you actually obtain it, it will give you an egg into your inventory, and you will have to spot a certain dialogue when talking and donating the vial. So assuming it hasn't changed since the test realm, there's literally 2 responses that it will give you when you donate the Cloud Vials. You will basically call out to the bee. You will call out to the Windy Bee. So there are 2 responses, which is basically the Windy Bee is 1, going to ignore you, which means that it's failed and you haven't got the Windy Bee egg. Or if you get super duper lucky, the Windy Bee will actually respond to you. So that is the prompt that you want to look for. It will say something along the lines of, what does it actually say? Hang on. Yeah, assuming it hasn't changed too much, it'll basically say it does not respond or it calls back to you. Now, keep donating those Cloud Vials as much as you possibly can in whatever amount you want to do, and it will probably say that it doesn't respond to you the first few times, but keep doing it, and eventually, when it pops up something along the lines of it calls back to you, that is when you have cracked it, and you will receive a Windy Bee egg inside your inventory. So it's a fairly complex system in terms of you have to do the Spirit Petal first, and then once you have done the Spirit Petals, you can then start using your Cloud Vials to give yourself a chance. Yes, you can donate Cloud Vials before you've done the Spirit Petal, but I don't believe it unlocks that special dialogue until you have donated the Spirit Petal. So yeah, I actually think it's a really, really cool system, and here's the bit where you guys can kind of help everyone out a little bit. So if you are currently at the 10 quest line and you have donated your Spirit Petal, in the comments section, it would be really, really cool to know how many Cloud Vials you have donated and if you have or have not got the Windy Bee yet. That would be super useful to know how many you donating in one go, how many of you donated in total, have you got it, have you not got it, and also in general, what items have you been donating to the Wind Shrine, how many of them, and what rewards have you been receiving. So I don't think there's an exact science behind this. I don't think it will give you the same thing every single time. However, I did find a couple of examples here from the Wikipedia page, and I thought these might be kind of interesting. This one is super spicy, and I want to try this one out myself sometime. So this is by a player called Nuttius P. Amazing name. And yeah, look at this. So he or she, I'm not too sure, they donated a star treat, and the buffs that they got from it were Cloverfield wins times 7, Dandelion Field wins times 6, Blue Flower Field wins times 7, Pumpkin Patch wins times 7, and Pineapple Patch wins times 6. So if you don't know what the wins are, basically this is like an instant conversion field booster where it will give you a percentage in that field for 15 minutes. And those times 6s and 7s are huge. Those are really, really spicy. Here's another random example by a dude called Stupid Animal. And he decided to donate 100 glue to the Wind Shrine. So yeah, look at this. He actually got 500 million honey from donating 100 glue to the Wind Shrine. Would I recommend donating 100 glue? No, I wouldn't, because you need the glue for the gummy mask and the gummy boots, and you've got to remember the gummy boots, in my opinion, are still the best boots in the game, so you are going to want to save up your glue for that. However, just another example, different item, different quantity, 500 million reward. Here's another really spicy example from someone called Unication. Yeah, I think that's how you spell it. Look at this. They gave a gifted diamond egg to the wind shrine. Now, this is one that I'm definitely going to try because I've got 2 gifted diamond eggs that are not doing anything. And look at this. It activated coconut field winds ×8. Oh, man. So from what I've seen, I don't know if I've just got lucky, but it seems every single time I've hit the coconut booster in the in old Krabby's cave there, it's given me a ×3 coconut field boost. So I swear the first couple times I did it, it was a ×1, but I've done it about 3 times now, and it's given me a ×3 each time. What you will notice as well is that the field boosters have actually changed. And they kind of feel like they give you less now, to be honest. It's a little bit strange. So, for example, I remember Bamboo always used to be ×2, but every time I've hit it, it's always been ×1. Back to this one. My dude here gave 1 gifted diamond egg, coconut field winds ×8, sunflower field winds 7, mountaintop field winds ×7. That's huge. Spider field winds ×8, pineapple ×8, and 62 million honey. So you can see that you can actually get some serious wind boost from donating high value items, which if you can combine those with a field booster, the instant conversion is going to be insane. I would also stress as well, you aren't guaranteed to get something good from high value items. So in my opinion, I think a marshmallow bee is a pretty high value item. Really, really powerful, really, really good boost. But there's a dude called Node here, and he donated 1 marshmallow bee, and he only got 3 million honey, which in my opinion is not a good trade whatsoever. I feel like a marshmallow bee is worth way more than that. So yeah, you aren't guaranteed, I don't think, good things every single time. This is what I'm trying to work out, and this is what's going to give you something good, what's going to give you something terrible. There's so many variables, and you know, there's also the favor system. So on it was saying, you know, the more things you donate, the more favor you gain with the wind shrine, that kind of stuff. So yeah, all of those things are into play when you're dealing with the wind shrine. It's not as straightforward as it first may have seemed. But yeah, just another example of not so hot a trade. Also kind of feel like the wind shrine also works in a really nice way in that if there's stuff in your inventory that you don't particularly want or need, you can donate it and you can get the winds buffs and you can get random bits and pieces as kind of like an exchange. So for example, with my inventory, if we just have a little look in it, I've just been sitting on all of these random eggs for super duper long. You know, I've got 19 silver eggs, gold egg, diamond egg, star egg, gifted silver egg, gifted gold egg, gifted diamond eggs, and they've literally been sitting there. Bumblebee eggs. I've got 5 bumblebee eggs. What am I ever going to do with them? I don't know. But then I can actually use these to donate them into the wind shrine, and I'm either going to get some nice field boosts and some wins. I might get some honey. I might get some random items. I might even get a wild windy bee spawning. And yeah, it kind of works like that. It's kind of like an exchange system. The rewards are pretty random. Sometimes they can be great, sometimes they can't. I feel like it's really a case of you have to experiment with it. Just dump something in there once every hour, maybe go big once or twice, maybe go small once or twice. But yeah, as you can see, it's way more complicated than I first thought it was going to be. It's very cool though. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that's going to be about it for this video here today. I really hope that there was some useful information in there somewhere. If you feel like I've missed anything out, or if, you know, something isn't quite right, or you've had like an item and you've got a different item and stuff and you want to share it with everyone, then please make sure you leave that in the comment section. The game hasn't actually been out that long for this update, so I feel like we're still trying to piece it together a little bit, and no one really knows kind of how this favor system works other than, you know, the more you donate, the better your favor is. You know, when it comes to like donating the Cloud Vials to try and get the windy bee, the more you donate, the higher your chances, that kind of stuff. But yeah, to summarize, very, very quickly, if these bad boys are moving, there's a wild windy bee there somewhere. Jump into the cloud and have a battle. If you want to get yourself your own windy bee, do 10 quests, get a petal, donate that bad boy, and then start handing in Cloud Vials. The more Cloud Vials you hand in, the higher your chances of getting that egg. So yeah, persevere with it. You might get it quickly, you might not, but we'll see. And then thirdly, you can donate a bunch of stuff to this bad boy, and it's going to give you a variety of different boosts, and the boost that it gives you and the items that it will give you is also going to be different depending on what text you get after you donate the items. So yeah, we're going to be back with some more